Uh, Hello friends. Today's video is regarding egg dish familiarization. Okay. So this video is mainly for decadets and junior officers. Okay. So it is just a basic. I am only covering basic informations. Okay. So what is egg dish? Egg dish is electronic chart display and information system. Okay, so this EGDIS is a navigation equipment which is integrated with many other navigational or bridge equipments. Okay, so this thing replaces the paper chart. Okay, so earlier paper chart was primary means of navigation. Now EGDIS is used as primary means. Okay, and let's discuss about what are the advantages. Or before that thing, let's uh, 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 explain how the EGDIS works. Okay, so EGDIS basically have a computer screen. Okay, a monitor, and in this monitor electronic chart will be displayed. Okay, so electronic chart like electronic charts, no whatever like our normal chart, all the location, all the geographic uh, patterns, everything will be displayed. So, and it is connected with ship's GPS. So the GPS will give a signal to EGDIS. Okay, so EGDIS will take the signal from the GPS and plot the position on the electronic chart automatically. So with EGDIS, navigator can get a real time position. Okay. So that is the advantage. Along with the GPS, there are some other equipments is also connected, like gyro, speed log, radar, ARPA. This radar and ARPA together, so this will give feed, and AIS. Okay, echo sounder, anemometer. Okay, in very advanced EGDIS like Kongsberg, Autopilot is also connected to the egg disk. Okay, so all these equipments will communicate with the egg disk, and a navigating officer get a better situational awareness from the egg disk. So this is how the egg disk work. So let's talk about the advantage and limitation of the egg disk. Okay, so among the advantage, there are several advantages for the egg disk. Okay, so one of the advantages is continuous route monitoring. Okay. So when you activate a route and put it on a monitoring mode, until you deactivate the route, this will keep on monitoring the route which is loaded on the egg disk. Okay. And second thing is continuous monitoring of charted depth and safety control. Continuous monitoring of charted depth and safety contour. So in the egg disk there are settings like safety depth, safety contour, safety shallow contour and deep contour. Okay, so when you put these values on ship's egg disk, the egg disk will through a search for the charted depth of values above and below this value. So egg disk will automatically highlight those area to different colors already selected in the egg disk. So whenever the ship navigate through those area, and if the ship ship is having a look ahead function in the egg disk, any time this look ahead function touches the any of this contour line, and the egg disk will give an alarm to the user, so that the officer can take effective action and navigate clear of the shallow areas. Okay. Another important thing is easy voyage planning. In traditional paper charts, if you want to plan a passage, you have to pull out lots of paper charts. Okay, and then finally uh, then you have to plot the position and waypoints and draw the line, and then you have to transfer the positions to different charts. Okay, and you have to mark the course and make necessary marking, no areas, everything on the paper charts. So all these thing you have to do it in plenty of charts, and it will be very time consuming. Okay, so as the egg disk comes, you don't have to do any manual plotting on the paper chart or pencil drawing lines using pencil. You just have to mark using mouse point of the disk. You just have to select a waypoint and drag it another waypoint, drag it another waypoint, another waypoint, another waypoint, like this. So when you press finish, all these waypoint will get connected and a route will be formed. The course of this route will automatically given by the egg disk, okay, and the distance between these waypoints, everything will be given by the egg disk, and the total distance, okay. So for voyage planning, this feature of the egg disk made the life of a second officer much easier, and voyage planning also hectic free. So this is the one of the advantage of the egg disk. Another thing is simpler and easy chart correction. So in paper chart, every week notices to mariners will be coming, and second officer has to download the tracings for the paper charts, and for each paper chart he has to place the one tracing, and he has to pinpoint that exact location of correction, and he has to do the correction, and some marking has to be entered on the bottom of the chart. So similarly, this type of correction has to be done to all the charts available on board. So in a week there are around 200 to 300 tracing corrections will be coming. So if by the time you finish one entire correction, another week's correction will come. So most of the time I have seen second officer bending on the chart table only for doing the chart correction. So when the egg disk came, this chart correction, there is no need of any major corrections to do on manual mode. Okay, so what will happen is the egg disk have its own electronic chart. Okay, so every week an update will come. Okay, you can download that update computer and save it in a USB. Okay, from USB you connect that USB to egg disk. Okay, and import that data to egg disk and install. So whatever the correction for that week will automatically correct. It will take only hardly 20 minutes. Okay, otherwise previous paper charts it will take almost 1 week to complete all the corrections for all the charts on board. Okay, and another thing is situational awareness. Okay, okay, situational awareness enhanced. So what is by meaning of enhanced means, like I said in the previous slide, in EGDIS all the information relevant for the navigation is already fed to the EGDIS. So all the information will be displayed in the side of the EGDIS. So the navigating officer, by looking at the EGDIS, he gets all the information, real-time monitoring, and since the ARPA and radar is also connected, he gets the and since the AIS is also connected, he gets the name of each targets in the surrounding. So each ships where it is going from the AIS. So basically, as compared to the paper chart, the situational awareness of a navigating officer has improved much better when using EGDIS. Okay, and another very important factor, and it is a requirement, is alarms. Okay, so alarms. Okay, so what will the this do? If there is any malfunction or any navigational hazards, or something happens during the route monitoring, the ECDIS will give an alarm or indication by audible and visual, and it also highlight that alarm on the ECDIS screen. So indications and highlight. Okay, highlight various navigational hazards. Okay, so these are the major advantages of using the ECDIS. So now we will discuss about the limitations of ECDIS. So these advantages and limitations are very important. Most of the MMT surveys will be asking during the second mid's oral. So if you can tell at least 5 to 6 limitation and advantages, he will be happy. Okay. So one of the limitation. Okay. So while using like I said, this easy voyage planning. Okay, so the one of the limitation is the complete voyage appraisal. So as a voyage planning, there are 4 stages, like appraisal, planning, monitoring and execution. So the important voyage appraisal is very important. So the complete appraisal of the voyage, that means the planning stage and everything is okay, and there are some information that you need to get it from some other sources, like ADP, ADP sailing direction, or ALRS. Okay, so there are so many informations that you have to get from the other nautical publications. So all the appraisal you cannot completely do it on the ECDIS alone. So that is the first limitation. Complete voyage appraisal cannot be done using ECDIS alone. Okay, and another one is there are just like our mobile phone only. When we are using a mobile phone for a continuous period, we keep on looking at that thing, and we entirely get dependent on that mobile phone world. So it is similar to that. Too much information or completely depending on the ECDIS. Sometimes officers or may have a tendency to do over reliance. Okay, so officer completely rely on the ECDIS. So sometimes they forget to take a binocular and look out, make a lookout, and use all available means. So by looking into the ECDIS alone only, sometimes there is a tendency to make assumptions. So over reliance is one thing. Okay, and another thing is the ECDIS screen have like paper chart. A paper chart have whatever the information is there on the paper chart, it is you plot, and if you need any information you read it and everything. So there are sometimes lots of other informations will be appearing on the ECDIS screen. So like there are some kind of distraction is also possible. So distraction like alarms, okay, and informations, okay, too much information, okay. So uh, that is the third limitation. And another thing is, if you like our normal computer, and you just like our laptop or desktop, uh, there are certain features you are regularly using, and you are quite familiar with that thing. But there are some features that in the settings and everything that you are not familiar. So if you need to do some changes, that you have to go to lots of submenus, okay. You will submenus and find out the specific task and use that. So there are very complex submenus in the ECDIS, okay. Submenu, okay. And and another major drawback I see is the when you navigate on a paper chart, the paper chart is the size of the paper chart is very big, okay. But the ECDIS screen is only half the size of that thing. So in the ECDIS screen, on top there is some other information, right side some other information, okay. So when you see the actual ECDIS chart, that will be a very small area as compared to the paper chart, okay. So on this when you look in the paper chart, and you look through the coastline, and you when you once you plot the ship's position, and you look through the surroundings and everything, okay, you can also have an appraisal of the position ahead. But for in ECDIS, if you want to see the locations ahead or charts ahead, you need to scroll this present electronic chart backwards. So then only you can see the positions or route ahead. So size of charts displayed on the screen monitor is much reduced as compared to paper charts, okay. This is the another limitation, okay. There are few more limitations, and I will quickly tell. Let's see how this is almost 23 minutes, okay.